A lot of members we work with who's don't hit the ball far enough off the tee. When you look at the top of the swing, Steve, the club head's like in line with their head. If we pull up like Rory McIlroy or any of the long drivers, you see the club head's way over here, much closer to the target.
If you're talking about long drives,
they get way down over here.
Down here.
So if you're looking to increase power during the backswing, or why amateur golfers swing it so short, they don't get that club head anywhere over here. In fact, if they were doing both arms, we would see something more like this, right?
Yep.
So because of the body motions working poorly, the arms and hands just didn't travel anywhere. So the club head didn't travel anywhere. So what we're saying is like, hey, by using this right arm only, that would be like step one. Ultimately, when we all go play, we want to feel good, right? I want to reduce the stress I have when I go play and increase my focus. And that's exactly what Canopy can help you do. If you're like most golfers I work with, it's really hard to go a full 5-6 hours in the course or even a 1-hour practice session swinging the club and not feeling some aches and pains. The tincture is one of the 3 options that they have that I absolutely love. Super easy, you can just have this right in your golf bag. Consistent use will help you relax, increase focus and cognition, and alleviate aches and pains. It comes in 5 amazing flavors: Skittles, Choco Mint, Peppermint, Lemon Lime, Cinnamon, and Unflavored. Listen, if you haven't used CBD before, or you're skeptical, you're not sure, I get it, I was as well. But this thing is completely safe. It's precision dosed, third-party tested, and it tastes really good. If you're interested in Canopy and you want to purchase some down below, see the link in the description and use code Cogorno20 for 20% off. All right, guys, we're back out here with Mr. Steve Saracki, beautiful Osprey Point Golf Club here. We're going to talk in today's video about how you can hit the driver farther and really what we see as to what holds amateur golfers back and why they can't hit the ball farther, why they hit it so short. Obviously, Steve and I have been coaching in person and online for a while, and in today's video, we want to talk through really the top 1, 2, or 3 things that we see a lot of amateur golfers do that hold them back from hitting it farther. We're going to talk some concepts, a couple of feels, and a couple of drills that you can take to be able to launch the ball farther. So, Steve, let's start. This video is really for the backswing, right?
Yeah.
But I know to get to the backswing, the setup matters, right? And so maybe let's start with the setup pieces before we do those backswing pieces, and maybe 1 or 2 quick cues for what I could do to help increase my backswing to hit the ball farther.
Yeah, so you gotta do your setup, talk from down the line. So when we're really talking to, about, because this is more about power, we'll start with the turn part, right? There's definitely a lack of turn that most people have. We could even start with the setup. So if you're getting in here and you have your shoulders open, move exactly, where the right arm would be too straight, the right arm would be like above the left arm from down the line, and we can really see how the right shoulder is forward of the left. Now, Eric's definitely overdoing it here, but this isn't too far off.
And I see this, and would you say, like, dude, for the people that post their swings, I see this literally every day. I see this a lot.
So when you're hitting the driver, the first thing we would say is to start closing your shoulder. So you might feel like you're pushing your right shoulder back. You might feel down a little bit. And now see how the left shoulder is in front of the right. The reason that's important is that's presetting the turn. So let's say Eric right now, his shoulders are closed. Let's just say they're closed 10 degrees, just because it's an easy number. Now he would only have to turn 80 degrees on his backswing to get to 90, which is about standard.
Okay.
But if you're set up and you're -10, right? Now you have to really crank to get to 90.
I got to turn back 100.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So when you're setting up, preset the turn.
So kind of pull the shoulder back a little bit.
And this will obviously help with the turn, but it'll also help to get the club to swing a little bit more into out, help get the club more behind the golfer to have more angular momentum to hit it farther. So I would start with that setup adjustment.
I love that. Literally, like, so to hit the ball farther, right, we want to make sure we have enough backswing turn.
Yeah. We want to get this thing loaded going back.
Load it up. And so if we're looking for 90 degrees of turn, we can sort of cheat that a little and get 10 already.
Yeah.
Gives us less work to do.
Correct.
Makes perfect sense to me. The other thing Steve said with the shoulder being back and down from the face-on angle, that helps me create a little bit of tilt at setup.
Yes.
Which just as like a quick note here, when you guys are looking at the driver, a little bit of tilt away from the target, head's behind the ball as I'm doing this.
Well, definitely head's gonna be behind the ball, how far forward the ball is.
Yeah.
But yes, there's more tilt with the driver than there is on an iron. Absolutely.
Okay. And at the setup position with the ball position, am I looking at the ball being like underneath my armpit?
Yeah, I would say be one ball behind your left shoulder, which would be right off the armpit for the baseline.
And then as we dig into the backswing pieces, let's make sure the shoulders are square, it's set up.
Yep.
On the way back, to simplify this, I would say the majority of golfers who struggle with distance lack both turn and extension of their torso, which causes their arms to swing too short. They don't get it back, up and back.
There's not enough depth.
Not enough depth. So what we really want to focus on the way back is increasing the extension, the turning, and the overall swing length.
And then we'll make our way to the arms. Yes.
And so how would I start the process of that, Steve? Where do I start that?
For the backstroke?
Yeah.
So starting with the extension and the turn, we start from the ground up. Oh, I want to say one more thing too about the setup.
Sure.
Turning both feet out more at the setup.
Like flaring the feet?
Yes.
Okay.
That will help get more turn on both sides of the ball, but definitely right now for the backswing.
Versus like, I wouldn't set up this way.
No, you don't want to have your right foot at a right angle to the stance line.
Okay.
We want both feet to be flared out, let's say 30 degrees.
And then as I'm feeling like I want to increase my backswing turn, I mean, one of the drills that I really like to start with was that right arm only.
Yep.
Would you start someone with that?
You could.
Right off the bat?
And because we're just talking about the body motions, you could also close your stance a little bit.
Okay. So I'm kind of cheating the turn. Just
well,
like
for this drill,
Okay.
So I would close your stance more for the drill. There you go. And now just do that right arm only drill.
And what am I trying to do here, Steve?
So what you're trying to do is move the hands and the club head around the body as you go back. So here's the ball line, right? Look where the butt of the club is in relation to the ball line. See how it's going way, there's a lot of depth.
Up and back this way.
Yes, it's going behind you.
So like from a measurement of like the butt of the club, I'm trying to get the butt of the club kind of as far up and back from the ball.
Absolutely,
the ball line.
yes.
And then one of the things I noticed, like I've seen Steve do this with a bunch of people online. I saw their before and after swings, and I've seen this drill work effectively a lot. As I'm feeling like I'm trying to get that right arm around, one of the things I always notice and point out is where the club head gets.
Yes.
A lot of members we work with who's don't hit the ball far enough off the tee. When you look at the top of the swing, Steve, the club head's like in line with their head. If we pull up like Rory McIlroy or any of the long drivers, you see the club head's way over here, much closer to the target.
If you're talking about long drives,
they get way down over here.
Down here.
So if you're looking to increase power during the backswing, or why amateur golfers swing it so short, they don't get that club head anywhere over here. In fact, if they were doing both arms, we would see something more like this, right?
Yep.
So because of the body motions working poorly, the arms and hands just didn't travel anywhere. So the club head didn't travel anywhere. So what we're saying is like, hey, by using this right arm only, that would be like step one.
It helps that right arm only drill really helps to get the shoulder, the right shoulder to kind of retract and get to the midline like we talked about in the past.
Yeah, let's show them from this. So let's say from this back camera like this.
So here's the midline, right? If I'm holding a shaft right up and down Eric's back, the midline, we want to have the right shoulder get to the midline or go beyond the midline. And that helps get more shoulder turn. Also is the extension, because that shoulder's retracting and moving around. You can really see how your chest is like opening up when you're doing that.
And so if I do that from this side, and kind of what we've talked about before, like me getting my right arm around as much as possible.
Yes.
And all the body motions, presetting the stance close, flaring the feet, closing the shoulders a little, helps get there.
Absolutely, because like we said earlier, we're presetting some of the turn already, so don't have to work that hard on the backswing.
And the shoulder retract, I feel like my shoulder's pulling back a little bit, this way more round.
It's like someone's pushing on you.
Okay. And all of that then helps get the hand and butt of the club much farther from the golf ball.
Yes.
And the club head itself much closer to the target.
Yes.
Right, much more round.
So now we're creating more potential power because we're lengthening out the swing. It's making it longer.
So my shoulder's kind of back a little, my stance is closed a little, the feet are flared.
Yep.
I feel my right shoulder, right hand, right arm.
To the midline, right
up
shoulder
and back
to the
towards
midline.
the target. Let's hit one with that first, Steve.
Yeah, just keep trying to just make your swing as long as you can. Yeah, that was a nice one. It's probably
like going over the
just
range?
maybe got the pass parallel. But this would
420.
be like a really good, another drill like to do. So again, do your setup. Would be hitting the balls with really, right now we're just working on making our swing long and swing fast, but no regards to where it goes.
Right, yep.
So if I was you.
Side note, that went right down the middle though.
I know, it did. I'm not, because your follow through is good. But for this part, you're doing your one-handed drills, moving the butt of the,
that out.
Yeah, moving the butt of the club around the body, right shoulder's retracting, the right leg is straightening, and the hips are turning because of the closed stance and your right foot's out. And then now when you're hitting, you're just trying to make your swing as long as you can just to get power.
And I just want to note as I'm doing that, as you're feeling the retracting right now, like one of the pieces as I work around that we said is the forward bend extension. So the golfer who would hit it the shortest would have their chest pointed down towards the ground the most.
Yes.
And their arms the shortest. The golfer who would hit the longest would have their chest pointed up towards the sky, which enables the arms, hands, club to travel around.
Dustin Johnson be a great example.
Dustin Johnson would be a great example, as you can see where his back goes. Now,
a ton of extension.
One of the keys when you do this, one of the keys when you do this, if you draw the line up through the golf ball, we talk a ton with the driver about keeping your head back. Now, as I'm doing the extension pieces, that's gonna make my head work less away from the target, certainly. I may feel like my head goes up and back towards it. When I make a real swing, obviously when you're doing this, I'm not going like here, okay, when you're doing this. The goal is just if I made a real swing, what would my chest be? Pretty level to the ground, maybe a hair up. So just when you're watching this, if I draw that line up my left ear, as I do all these lengthening out pieces, that line stays up my left ear.
Yes.
I'm just staying centered when I do it.
Now you might need to feel like your head goes way
feel
forward
like it.
if your head's going way off the ball.
Exactly.
Needed to say that mention that in there.
Yeah, from a feel piece. So, okay, feet are flared, shoulders backing down a little bit, stance is closed.
Presetting the turn.
I'm gonna feel that up and back. So I really feel like that right shoulder and right arm, I love that feel. Lengthening out the backswing, chest feels up a little bit more. Yeah, and that feels really good to me. And those are hit hard for me.
Do that. We'll do that one more from the front. And we should. I want to say this
just
too.
No compliments from Steve.
As you're doing this,
like Bill Belichick.
As you're doing this part, it's going to help get we're saying it's going to get the club more behind you. So when you come down and the club's parallel to the ground, it'll be more in. So this is definitely going to produce more of a draw biased motion.
Okay. Little added benefit.
Yes. Well, remember, we're talking about angular momentum, so we want to have this club.
Take it easy.
We want to have this club in here behind you.
Okay.
Field goal kickers.
Angular momentum. Okay. Feet flared, shoulder back and closed. I just really like that one arm feel. Shoulder, chest and shoulder up and back. Yeah. I'm not going here.
Nope.
Chest down, arms nowhere.
That's flexion. When extension, there's extension.
There we go. All right, one more, Steve. 350.
Yep.
Coming right up.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah, that's hit solid for me, all of those.
That was your longest swing.
Club head traveled back the farthest. And I like that too, guys. When you're watching your backswing, obviously get the butt of the club as far from the ball as you can, but monitor that club head. I do that swing length piece with a lot of people all the time. Like, get that club head closer to the target. I think that's a really simple cue. So I like those two drills, right arm only. Feeling the shoulder get in the midline.
One more on that. Close your stance a lot and do it right arm only. So you can really see the preset hip turn. That really helps to extend and open up that right side some more in your backswing.
And I think some golfers get a little bit nervous about like overdoing something like that, but man, to help preset the turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, let that piece rip. I like that. If you need to feel a little more of the extension, just feeling the clubbing your chest up towards the sky a little bit, all those pieces.
It's another good drill to do.
Yeah, all those pieces can help. At the end of the day, Steve and I both very video heavy, right? If we were working on our swings with someone, hit a ball, look at video, hit a ball, look at video. So
just keep checking it every time.
How do I know if I'm doing these pieces enough? You'd want to monitor video feedback. So thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed this. In fact, on our next video, we're going to do another one on the driver, but talk more downswing and through the hit. That'll be our next video on Sunday. If you enjoyed this, you want to watch that one. Leave a comment down below. If you guys have any questions for us, we'd be glad to talk about that. Click that like button if you liked it. If you want to work with Steve and I online at Cogorno Golf, we would love to have you. And tune in Sunday for how to hit the driver farther downswing stuff.
You
Steve,
got
thanks.
it. Yep.